Good. I love how he just softened and dropped his head that time. Wiggle that rope. So if the tarp is 12 o'clock, you can pretty much anticipate that by the time you get to 11, he's going to think about jetting off. So just be ready with a little wiggle. And instead of wiggling at 12 once he's gone, wiggle at 11:15 when he thinks about taking that first quick step.
Okay.
Did he have the tarp up? Is the tarp in the other place? I have moved. Check your loop. Go ahead and send him around to the right. Keep the rope in the right hand. Yep, and you can put the end of the rope in your left hand if you need to. Not that he needs any kind of extra acceleration. And then at 3 o'clock, disengage. Okay, you got to remember your disengage over on the far side of the pen.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this one too. This one.
So the whole, a lot to think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So right now, this whole lower side of the round pen is, there be dragons.
Yeah.
No going down there.
Okay.
You know, if he does, it's not the end of the world. You just get your disengage and your change wherever you can. But that's a really nice expression on his face. Now you're going to send him to the left and pass the tarp. So counterclockwise, and then by the time you get to 3 o'clock, which is about me, I'm sorry, to 9 o'clock, which is about me, you'll disengage. Good. Very nice send. And disengage. And check your rope. And then you can back him up. Oh, you read my mind. Keep your feet still. You want to back him up so that you've got some more space to be able to tell him where to go. And send him around to the right. Let your rope out a little bit if you can. And disengage. Beautiful. That's worth a click. Good job. I could hear that one from over here.
That was about the third try.
Pick up your stick, because you're going to be asking him to get closer and closer to that tarp, and it's going to be helpful to have a longer reach.
You just want me to have one more thing to handle so I drop it.
Exactly.
I already can't keep track. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm sure somewhere out there, the more complicated it is for the humor, and the easier it is for the horse to understand.
I don't know, I'm a big fan of Kiss.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, sweetie. Okay, so let's see, where can we go from here? You can actually go ahead and send him in a full loop around to the left and think about how big of a circle, how far away you can keep him from you. Now that you've got your stick, keep it parallel with your rope. And start walking towards the tarp so there's a bit of a squeeze between you and the tarp, and you're still going to disengage when you get to 3 o'clock. And disengage.
Okay, 3.
I'm sorry, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is 9. Okay. Sorry. Wait.
Okay, and you're going to, each time you send him through that squeeze between you and the tarp, you're going to try and be closer to that tarp. So,
and you want me to disengage on both sides?
And still disengage on both sides, because the reasoning behind that is that he's going to have the anticipation of stopping. That's going to help counteract when he spooks and gets reactive and just wants to flee.
Yes,
that's going to nip that in the bud.
Yes, something to think about else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, walk on.
Put the stick towards his nose. Your default with your stick is pointing it towards his nose. and ask him to back up so that you already start with a bigger circle. Keep your feet still and don't step away from the tarp. Lift your stick hand to be a block. Good, good, good. And just relax and tell him good boy. And disengage. Disengage. Stick with the cue until you get the disengage. Very good. Now give him a minute. Don't move. He's there. Did you click him?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He thinks I did.
Yeah. But that was nice because he got all fired up and then he listened to you and then he dropped his head and went, oh, okay. And that's good stuff. Go ahead and back him up again, keeping your feet still so you make the circle bigger. Put the extra rope in your stick hand. And then go ahead and change your equipment over and you're going to send them around to the right. Raise your stick to be a block. Good. Shake that rope and disengage. Go ahead and ask him to back up. Keep your feet still. Let the rope get longer. And with your stick, gently and lightly send it. Good. Okay, hold on a second here. And go ahead and send him out to the left. Raise your stick. Raise your stick. As he raises his head, raise your stick so it stays as a visual. Good. Very good timing on your release as well. Okay, so where should your stick be as a default?
Pointing at his shoulder.
Uh-huh. Parallel with your rope.
Yeah, sorry.
Just give him a minute. Keep your feet still. Whoop. Bring him back into line. He can't leave without you. Ask him to back up 2 steps since he crept forward 2 steps. Very nice. And then just wait. Okay, change your gear over. Send him around to the left. Let your rope get longer. Make your circle bigger. And don't take yourself any further away from the tarp than you are. Stick up towards his nose. Up towards his nose. So good click. Now when you click, you shouldn't have to pull on his head. Just click and he should stop and come to you. And for the disengage, you shouldn't pull on his head either, because it's pushing the hips out rather than pulling the head in. It's the hardest thing, I think, for humans to do, because, you know, we got to where we are by using our opposable thumbs, for better or for worse. So it's like, we can fix it with our hands. Instead, fix it by pushing.
Well, part of what I'm trying to do is get the rope out so he doesn't step on it.
But instead of pulling it in, keep him out.
Right. I'll try.
Okay, this is nice. Good boy, Cash. Okay, go ahead and ask him to back up. Maybe 4 steps, and then you're going to send him around to the left, and your feet are going to stay still. Imagine that you're standing in a hula hoop. Eyes up. Send your focus out. A couple more steps. Very, very nice. And then send him out to the left. Raise your stick. Good. Good with your stick. Click. Very good. I love how calm he was with that.
Yeah, he just looked like he decided to forget about